In the wild deserts of ancient Judea, a powerful voice began to rise. A prophet named John the Baptist stood beside the Jordan River, calling people to repentance and declaring the truth of God without fear. People traveled from distant towns to hear him speak. John did not flatter leaders or rulers, but warned everyone that God sees every sin and calls all people to turn back to him. Far away in the palace of Galilee ruled King Herod Antipas. Yet his rule was stained with scandal, for he had taken Herodias, the wife of his own brother. When John heard of this sin, he spoke boldly before the people and declared that even kings must obey the law of God. When Herodias heard the prophet's words, anger filled her heart. She could not bear the shame that John had brought upon her before the people. To silence the prophet, King Herod ordered soldiers to seize John and throw him into prison. To silence the prophet, King Herod ordered soldiers to seize John and throw him into prison. Though he had imprisoned the prophet, the king often listened to John speak, for he knew the man was righteous. One night the king held a great feast to celebrate his birthday, inviting nobles and commanders from across the land. During the celebration, the young princess Salome entered the hall and stood before the king and his guests. Pleased by the celebration, the king made a careless promise before the entire court. Unsure what to ask, the princess turned to her mother. Herodias saw her opportunity and whispered a cruel request. The princess returned and made a shocking request before the king and all his guests. The king was deeply troubled, for he knew John was a righteous man. But because of his promise and the eyes of his guests upon him, the king gave the order. In the quiet darkness of the prison, the faithful prophet prayed as his final moment approached.
And endurance. Let my voice rise to thee like incense.
Soon the guard returned to the palace carrying a platter, the terrible price of hatred. Soon the guard returned to the palace carrying a platter, the terrible price of hatred. May your head not be in the hands of your enemies. Please subscribe to our channel. God bless you.